everybody, Backyard Bullion here. I hope everybody's having a fine weekend wherever they may be in this big wide world. As you can tell from the hammer, the silver and the stamping block, we've got a stamping session to share with you guys here today, as well as a little bit of a general BYB ramble on a myriad of various things, including the Silver Forum giveaways, the Silver Forum group orders, our Port Silver Edinburgh Assay Office, and anything else that I can think of as I go on through this rambling. Now, before I drop this hammer on these boards and really annoy my dad, I'm just going to move them out of the way. Primarily that's what we're working on here today, getting all these triangle pieces stamped up to fill those puzzle boards. But before we jump in and do all of that stamping, I just want to let you all know about some really fantastic news for the Silver Forum. They have recently surpassed 10,000 members, and that's an incredible achievement for any forum, let alone one about precious metals. And to celebrate, they're having a massive giveaway. We've been very, very honoured to make this big, giant 10-ounce chunky ripple bar for them, and this is going to be available for paid members of the forum. So it's there's a sort of paid membership scale there, which you can gain access to this giveaway if you are a paid member. But there's also just a general giveaway for anybody who signs up to the forum as a free member. You do not have to pay to enter to this giveaway. It is free to all. So head on over to the Silver Forum. All of the information and links are down in the description below. And a big thank you to the Silver Forum for all of their massive support over this last couple of years of everything Backyard Bullion. And one of the things I want to ramble about actually as we go, I'm going to start stamping now because otherwise we're going to be here all day, is that we have got news and updates to share with you all on the 100 gram Silver Forum bar. So I've been asked countless times by people about these 100 gram bars and whether or not we're going to be doing them, when we're going to be doing them, when they're going to be available. I'm very, very happy to announce that production is well underway. We have definitely got things going, and we are going to be aiming to bring them out. I'd say August is going to be optimistic, and primarily that is to do with the Edinburgh Assay Office and their sort of turnaround times. In fact, let me put this triangle board, can we see it? There we go, so we can see the set coming to life as I stamp it. So primarily it's down to the turnaround times with the Edinburgh Assay Office. So they are open, they are hallmarking our silver, which is fantastic news. And as you can see, we've got these triangle pieces that have come back from Edinburgh. But it does take a bit of time, and one can imagine why. They're working on a skeleton crew, and there's only so many people that can do the hand marking for our stuff. The machine marking side of things is often a lot quicker. They've got obviously more staff, more stations. I've actually been up to the Edinburgh Assay Office and seen their work area, and they've got an awful lot of staff that do the machine marking, which is kind of the primary thing, really. You know, the big jewelers and things like that. The rings, they have obviously such huge volume that they need to be able to put it through at that volume, but not for poured silver. Poured silver with hand stamps is a pretty niche thing, and it's not an easy skill stamping silver, so they often have to obviously have people who are qualified to do it. So they are open for business, which is really good news, and it is just working with those turnaround times. The other thing to bear in mind is I've got 150, and that's the first time sort of telling about the mintage really, 150 of these 100 gram bars to pour, and it takes quite a bit of time to create that many pieces, let me tell you. So we are busy at the moment, and I know a lot of you have been asking, so I hope that clears up some of the answers to the questions that you guys have about the timings and releases and everything like that. So hopefully in due course we'll be sharing more updates on those, and some photos, and anything that we will be sharing on all of that will be coming out through the Silver Forum. So again, head on over to the forum. It's a great resource, great place to be, and you can get all of the information that you might want about those 100 gram bars. Now, in terms of the Silver Forum, let's just talk a little bit about that. So the Silver Forum is, as you all know, a fantastic sponsor of our channel and has been for an awful long time now, and I'm really honoured to still be working with them on so many things like the giveaway prizes, the 100 gram bars, and just many, many other myriad of things as well. It's a fantastic, fantastic resource, and if you are not a member, you don't even have to be a paid member to get access to a lot of the resources, then I'd highly recommend you go and just check it out at least, because they really do have so many great things going for them at the moment, and it's taken off massively in this last kind of 6 months, we've seen huge numbers of people join, which is only good for the forum, sharing resources. And one of the things I want to follow up on is the video that I put out last week was all about some potential scammers that are out there. And I know for a fact that we've saved quite a lot of people quite a lot of money on that forum by talking about different companies. And it is I said in the video last Wednesday that one of the best things you can do is go onto forums and have a look at the reputation of different companies out there and see what they're all about. And I know for a fact that the Silver Forum has done a great job recently in protecting and safeguarding people and people's money, which is really important. And I think it's something that the community can be very proud of, certainly over on the forum, that they are, so good, I think, at doing that work to find people, find out what's happening, and save people cash and money in the long run, which is, I think, a really good thing. So head on over to the Silver Forum. You don't have to be a paid member. You don't have to pay money to sign up. You can get all of those resources for free. But I will just say that there are paid membership levels, which are of benefit to some people. Again, it's down to your own personal circumstances. The next thing I kind of want to talk about there is the trade section. So what I find really interesting is looking at, just trying to look at my puzzle board to work out which one I need to do next. So one of the great things about the Silver Forum is just generally the sale of silver and gold. It's got a fantastic trade section. But I want to talk just generally a little bit about selling silver at the moment. Is it a good time to do so? I've noticed that there's been a change in recent kind of weeks from a lot of gold being sold to now a lot of silver being sold. Of course, we've seen prices go up in terms of spot price. Premiums have gone up as well, considering the way the world is. And I have seen a lot of people starting to look to sell quite a bit more silver than was being sold a few months ago, which I think is quite interesting. I personally would be holding on to as much as I can right now in terms of those kind of bullion coins. And that's something to really think about. But I don't know, what do you guys think? It's certainly an interesting interesting situation where you see a lot of silver going up for sale, and it does sell still quite quickly, even at these premiums. But there are people, I think, that are looking to cash out whilst they still can, because even in a normal society world, in a normal world where things are acting okay, you can get some issues in terms of is that the right way around? Yes, that's the right way around. You can get some issues in that sort of sale side of things in terms of silver. It can be quite a hard thing to sell at the right price. So definitely seeing an uptick on the Silver Forum in terms of sales of silver. So yeah, now moving on to buying of silver rather than just selling of silver. And the other good thing about the Silver Forum is that we arrange the group orders via the Silver Forum. And if you don't know what the group orders are, it's where we collectively purchase some silver from the European Mint in Estonia, where we've got sort of advantaged rates on VAT, i.e. 0%, and we import it into the UK. And with the way of Brexit at the moment, it's probably likely that that situation will not exist in the future. So people are definitely taking advantage of buying as much silver as they can right now. And maybe that's why the sales on the Silver Forum are still pretty liquid for silver. But yeah, the group orders are definitely still available. I've been asked a number of times by people whether they are still happening, when they are happening. The answer is they are live right now. I'll put a link, if I can remember, down in the description to the thread on the forum where you can find all of the details. We've had lots of people ordering in the last couple of weeks, and I suspect there will be more people ordering in the next couple of weeks too. The idea would be in about 2 or 3 weeks time we'll have an order ready to ship from the European Mint, and we'll get to do a big unboxing for everybody here on YouTube. It's always a good fun day to do those type of unboxing. So yeah, if you want to get involved and you want to have a look at getting some silver that is not vatted from one of the UK dealers, then yeah, you can definitely look into that. So the next and sort of final thing I want to talk about, I guess, although I'm not even halfway through, it's probably because I'm not ordering my stamps here and I'm having to look at each one every time, is what we've got in store for general stock. So another question I always get, I'm getting so many now, inquiries through, is why my shop is empty. My shop is empty because whenever I put something up there, it sells very quickly. And there's a few things to consider for us and selling silver. So if you long-term viewers, and let's be quite frank here, anybody who's watching to this point in a BYB Rambling video is one of my long-term viewers and BYB Rambling Society members. You'll remember that we had to register for VAT last year, which was not a fun experience. I did not enjoy being registered for VAT. I did not enjoy the fact that I had to charge extra for the silver to our customers in the UK, and it was such a administrative ball ache, to be honest. So we deregistered, but that does mean we have to operate within very strict parameters of our turnover each year. And in layman terms, what that means is that if we sell too much, then we go over the limit again and we have to register for VAT again, which is not fun. So we have to be very careful with what we sell when we sell. We space it out, we make sure that we are not exceeding our own sort of where does that one go? That one goes there. We're not exceeding our own kind of where we want to be with the business. I don't really want Backyard Bullion to be a huge, massive business with all of the stress and burdens that come with something like that. I just want this to be a fun thing that I enjoy and love, and that is at the moment very much what it is, and I don't want that to change. And being VAT registered and growing the business even further really would make that not an entertaining thing to consider for me. So from my perspective, I just want to reassure and say to everybody, yes, we don't have very much stock at the moment, but we do have a forecast for the rest of 2020, a very clear forecast in our mind where we want to be, the kind of products that we're going to make and how we're going to release them and when. The best and simply the single best way to keep up to date with what we're doing and where we're doing it and how we're doing it is on the forum. I know this has been a little bit of a Silver Forum heavy centric kind of message and video here today, but I'm very active on the forum. If you want to get in touch, you're probably going to have an easiest time if you just get a message over to me on the Silver Forum. I'll probably reply fairly quickly, and I try and reply very quickly here on YouTube as well, but YouTube comments being what they are, it is very difficult to keep up with them, especially when you have thousands of comments coming through. Well, I say thousands, we get hundreds of comments coming through on most of our videos, so it is difficult to keep up with all of those. Right, that's that puzzle board done, so let's move on to the next one. And so it is difficult to keep in touch with people, but the simplest way that we do it is via the Silver Forum, and we tend to put things up for sale first on the forum, and it tends to be that those things sell quickly on the forum there. So we will be listing more stuff. That doesn't mean that we can't make anything, and we do tend to do commission pieces still. Obviously there's always a balance to be struck with the amount that we can do and the turnover that we can do. And if you are interested in commissioning a certain piece, then we certainly can still do that. In fact, you know what, I'm going to, for once and for all, get these in order so that I'm not always looking for the wrong ones every time. There we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, if you're interested in commissioning a piece, then we can definitely do that. The turnaround times are interesting right now. As I said, from the Edinburgh Assay Office's perspective, it's approximately a 3 to 4 week turnaround time, I'd say, and then obviously we've got to build that into our own work schedule. We're busy now at the moment pouring 100 gram bars and a few other little pieces that we've got already ordered, but generally speaking it would be about a 3 or 4 week turnaround, and if there is something that you'd be interested in, we can definitely let you know whether it's possible or not. So lots of stuff going on. So that is pretty much all of my updates, my rambling style updates. Life is good. We are really happy with the way things are going with the Backyard Bullion brand. And I've been thinking quite a lot over this last sort of 5-6 months or so, even more so with everything going on in the world right now about COVID and all of that jazz, about what really the future holds. And I do genuinely think that a small, sustainable brand is actually the single best thing, not just for me in terms of flexibility in life, but also I think generally for the pieces that we make. At the end of the day, we make premium pieces of silver. They are not bullion pieces of silver. And the vast majority of people get that and understand that. But we do get, surprisingly, the odds, I say surprisingly, it's part of the internet, isn't it? Surprisingly, the odd troll who always comes through and moans about prices and premiums. And it's this thing that all silver pourers, I think, around the world, whether it be myself, Bullion, I've seen him talking about this topic a lot, Silver Dragons, various other people that, there's too many to name, Bunker Bullion, just so many, that we put a lot of work into all of the pieces that we make, and it is a labour of love. At the end of the day, the amount of time and man hours that goes into a lot of the stuff that we make, it doesn't necessarily make sense financially as a good time income. But one thing that I think binds us all together as silver pourers, as content creators, whether that be physical content or content on YouTube here, is that we just enjoy it, we love it. And yeah, it's not necessarily financially the best earning job I've ever had, but it's by far and away the most fulfilling job I've ever had. And it's my job, and I'm committed to that now. I want this to be sustainable for the future, to for people to enjoy. And I think it is better for our brand and for our customers if we went off and we made sort of 10,000 units of one thing. It would water down the brand, it really would. And I have been asked a number of times by various companies if we could produce bars for them en masse. And a few things, when we go back and say, well, first of all, we don't really think that's appropriate with that volume. It would mean cutting off your nose to spite your face, because you'd be doing all of these other projects disservice by not being able to do them. And it just doesn't make sense for what we want to achieve. So I hope that all makes sense. That's sort of the BYB ramble, so to speak, of our poured silver. Where are we at now? Nearly 17 minutes into the video, and you can see how much time it takes just to stamp these. We haven't even stamped the weight on the back of these either, so we've got all of that to do. I won't be doing that in today's video, but each piece has got the BYB logo on the reverse with the hallmark, and then we're going to be putting the weight on that as well. And yeah, it's the right way around. Thought I'd made a mistake there for a moment. And so it does take a long time, it really does. It's quite fun though, this stamping lark. Now, for anybody who is still watching at this point, I really do want to know if you are enjoying the ramble, because I love hearing from my BYB Rambling Society members. You guys rock. And it's because of you that we enjoy doing this stuff so much. Tell you what, it is a weird skill. This is essentially like a radio podcast. It's a very weird skill, and I've been thinking about this a lot lately, how much skills, or how many skills I should say, I've learned over this last 4 years now. It's nearly 4 years that we've been doing stuff here on YouTube, which is incredible. And how much we've actually learnt in terms of skill sets. And talking at a camera, unscripted, is not an easy thing to do. And I really, really have to say, I absolutely have the utmost respect for radio presenters and DJs and things like that, because this is a hard gig. You're working off your own kind of back in terms of what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, all of these type of things. You can definitely have a little bullet point of script of things that you want to talk about, but being able to talk without losing your words and footing continually is it's not an easy skill at all, which is really interesting. So from that perspective, I really would recommend just sitting down and trying to talk at a camera, even if you don't do YouTube videos. It's a really interesting skill, and I know from my old professional capacities that it was definitely something that I used to struggle with. And I used to be doing I used to do a job which involved an awful lot of talking with people, conversational kind of talking, and I was never really that good at it. And it's interesting that the skills that I've developed, I do feel have improved that level of kind of conversation skill for me. So now I feel like even if everything went pear-shaped with Backyard Bullion and we had to go out and find a job in this big wide world, okay, granted right now that's not necessarily the easiest thing to contemplate, but I do feel like if I was to sit down with somebody in an interview for a job, I'd have a lot to say for what I have learnt and can do. And I probably have to say I wouldn't go back into an old kind of job similar to the one that I used to have. So yes, very interesting. So, getting down to the nitty-gritty, the last 4 pieces. Right, just to summarise, for those of you who have been watching so far, if you've not headed over to the Silver Forum before and you want to see what the Silver Forum is all about and how you can get involved with those giveaways, then there should be links down in the description below. I hopefully have remembered to put them there. And if you would like to enter those giveaways, you have to be a paid member to enter the one for the 10-ounce bar. Paid membership. All of that detail can be found over on the forum. It's a fantastic resource, it really is, and I'd highly recommend the paid membership. It's not very expensive. It pays for itself over and over again with the amount of money that you can potentially save on purchases, but also generally from the knowledge that you can gain. I do genuinely think that it's it's a really, really good resource. Otherwise, if you have anything in particular that you would like to have commissioned, poured silver-wise, then we can certainly link up. I'll put my email, as always, down in the description below so you can get in touch via email. That is probably the best way of getting in touch. Otherwise, for general stock updates, the best place is, again, the Silver Forum. To go over there and follow us on the forum, and you can get those updates probably best when we release things. We tend to put things up on our website and our forum, and I say our forum, that's the one last thing. For anybody who really is watching this long, the last little ramble I want to talk about is that I'm not Chris Silver. I'm not the owner of the Silver Forum. I really am not. There's so many people out there who think I am and call me Chris Silver, even on the forum and the group orders. And I know Chris gets a few messages here and there as well from people saying they think that he's Backyard Bullion. We're not the same person. We're not, genuinely. I only joined the forum in 2016 and it's been going since 2013. So we're not the same person, trust me. Anyway, here we go, the last piece, number 4 to finish. There we go. So there are the 2 puzzle boards. They still need to have all of their numbers antiqued, all of the weight stamped on them, so you can see, what are we at now? 22 minutes, 23 minutes worth of time stamping just those top numbers. Lots more work still to be done on these puzzle boards, and then they will be shipped out to their new owners. A big thank you to everybody who has been watching this long. I really do appreciate all of your support, whether it just be here on YouTube or over on the Silver Forum as well. So thank you, we really do appreciate it. Have a fantastic weekend wherever you may be, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching, and please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.